Assalamu alaikum. I've called this short video Respect Choice, oppose the government's power to cremate over burial. My name is Nasir Hafizi. I'm a solicitor and founder of a YouTube channel called Community Legal Education, which publishes short legal video explainers. I want to urgently draw your attention to the coronavirus bill, which was published on Thursday evening on the 19th of March 2020 and is due to be passed by Parliament on Tuesday, the 24th of March 2020 next week. Now, many aspects of the proposed measures and powers contained in the coronavirus bill are important in this emergency as a result of the coronavirus outbreak and is widely supported. But there's one measure, one power out of the 329 pages of this bill, which I think many people across all faiths and none will be seriously concerned about, but know very little about. The reason why I know about it is because next week I will be publishing a short legal video explainer outlining many of the emergency powers and measures, and I've been researching the coronavirus bill. The very concerning part and proposed government power is contained in Clause 56, Schedule 27 of the coronavirus bill. In the 73 pages of the explanatory notes, which are the summary of all the measures at page 54, paragraph 442, the new proposed government power is explained like this. Let me read it to you. Quote, personal choice for body disposal will be respected as far as possible. However, only where there is no suitable alternative, for example, if safe storage limits were likely to be breached and out-of-area alternatives not available, the power to direct may be used to direct whether a body is buried or cremated. In this respect, it has been necessary to disapply Section 46(3) of the Public Health Control of Disease Act 1984, which prohibits cremation against the wishes of the deceased. Similar provisions are disapplied in Northern Ireland. Scotland legislation only requires due regard to be had to the deceased's wishes, so no equivalent disapplication is needed. So, in short, what is being proposed in the coronavirus bill is the power to overrule a person's choice to be buried, not cremated. Now, maybe that choice to be buried was made clear by a person before they died, maybe in their will, in a contract with a funeral director, or it's been expressed to family and friends, or simply because it's reasonably assumed and taken for granted because of their faith that opposes cremation, that they want to be buried and definitely not cremated. Now, some people may want to be cremated, that's their choice, but that choice is being taken away from those who want to be buried by this extreme government power in this emergency situation, because of this reasoning, that there may come a time due to the number of coronavirus deaths and other deaths, there is nowhere to store the deceased body. And this power is even more draconian. It gives direction or forces those involved in burials to carry out actions, including cremations, against the person's wishes, backed by criminal sanctions if they don't. And if the local authority doesn't comply with the government can take over the process of death management. As I've said, most would agree to many of the proposed measures in the coronavirus bill, but Clause 56, Schedule 27, to cremate, not to bury, against the deceased's wishes and choice, is a very serious breach of the deceased's dignity and their final wish, and people who don't agree that the government should have this power should challenge it. Right now, I'm proposing, if you don't agree with the power, in Clause 56, Schedule 27, urgently do two actions before the bill is passed. 1. To share this video to all concerned, including people from other faith groups. Raise awareness and concern about Clause 56, Schedule 27. And to contact the MP and ensure they oppose this power, Clause 56, Schedule 27. Say to them, we want you to oppose the government power to cremate, not to bury, against the deceased wishes. Now, if this power to cremate, not to bury, against the deceased wishes passes into law, I want local community groups to do 4 things. 1. To contact the local hospital, local authority and the local councillors and obtain assurances that they have enough storage for those who sadly die, who want to be buried, not cremated, and enough burial plots for people to be buried, not cremated. 2. To contact local funeral directors and places of worship which have facilities to store deceased bodies and ensure that they are available to storage in this emergency. Some may have closed their facilities because they don't want to handle cases of deceased bodies who've contracted coronavirus. I urge them to rethink, get insurance cover, have staff and volunteers trained in PPE, personal protective equipment, to wash and shroud, and volunteers to transport deceased bodies from hospital to storage facilities or direct to the cemetery. 3. To raise funds now and purchase additional storage facilities for storage of deceased bodies in worst case scenarios that there are no storage facilities in the hospitals or there's a delay in burial because there's not enough staff and volunteers PPE trained. And 4. Use the space or rooms in funeral places or places of worship. Some have large enough to cater for more storage space for deceased bodies to be stored there, and to contact the local hospital to let them know you have this storage facility available for the deceased bodies for burial, not cremation. No one, and I mean